Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. We're going to run to the East Coast right now. Well, not quite to the East Coast, but moving in that direction. Down to Troy, Michigan, and Automation Alley, of course, and our good friend, Noel Nevshehir. Noel, how are you? It is good to see you, as it always is.
Yeah, likewise. I'm doing great. Even better now seeing you.
Welcome back, as always. Could you remind everybody about Automation Alley's international business, strategic, and global services?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were created, the Automation Alley, as you know, opened in 1999, but they decided that they would help companies pursue export opportunities around the world. So they created the International Business Services. Essentially, our goal is to help companies sell their products overseas, and so we do it in three different ways. One, we help them understand just the basics of exporting to familiarize them with both the opportunities and challenges of doing business overseas. And then we'll do country-specific events. And generally, we'll target nations that have a particularly high demand for Michigan-made products, services, and technologies. And then thirdly, we'll actually do a trade mission to those countries. So in the last 10 years, every year we've gone to Mexico and India. Then we'll pick a third area of the world to go to, and that's generally Southeast Asia. So upcoming missions include the one we're doing next month. Speaking of Southeast Asia, we're going to be going to Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. In November, we're going to go to MEDC, one of the largest health shows held every year in Dusseldorf. And then we also plan to go to Eurosatory, which is a defense security event in Paris, held every year.
Well, that's not a bad vacation travel, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
right.
So
That's part of my job.
you may wind up with a few spouses kind of tagging along. So you do a lot of this in conjunction with MEDC. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So our success doesn't occur in a vacuum. Without the MEDC, we'd be nothing. And what I mean by that is that it's just not the MEDC, but it's also the U.S. Department of Commerce. MEDC has offices located around the world. As you know, U.S. Department of Commerce has offices located around the world in their consulates and embassies. In fact, if it wasn't for them, Automation Alley would not be able to have generated the $2.3 billion in export sales that we've been successful at, in addition to creating more than 11,000 jobs as a result of those export sales. So yeah, we work in partnership and tied to the hip with the MEDC, other economic development partners like Oakland County, Macomb County, and of course the U.S. Department of Commerce.
So let's talk about, because they have a wonderful program there called
Mm.
Mind.
Yeah,
Tell,
yep.
tell us about that, because that's a really added value for people trying to do business in foreign countries.
You're not kidding. And it makes my job a whole much easier. And I'll tell you why, because sometimes it can be cost prohibitive for these companies to participate in these trade missions. So the Misstep program helps companies defray the costs associated with traveling overseas and meeting with potential buyers and users of their products, services, and technologies. So right now, and it depends on the year, but right now, these companies, mostly small to mid-size, get 50% reimbursement for the costs associated with their hotels, the flight, the matchmaking meetings, and the conferences in country.
So, a great program there. They also give you direction and what expertise they have.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about where you're going, because that
Mhm.
happens to be coinciding with what is now the most cost-effective labor section on the planet.
Sure, without a doubt. So, with the decoupling of trade between Beijing and Washington, a lot of our companies are interested in perhaps reconfiguring their supply chains outside of China. And so, as a result, and we're member driven. I mean, we go where our members want us to go. Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore have come up as alternatives to China now more than ever, especially with the tariffs. So we try to, help these companies, shift their operations. And by the way, Chris, this doesn't happen overnight because the supply chains in China took more than 30 years to mature. So you just can't pull up the stakes and move them, to another country in Southeast Asia. This takes time and effort, but we try to provide solutions and introduce them to partners in other countries that can help them be as globally competitive there as they are in China.
Well, partnerships are never easy to move. So, listen,
Right.
without giving any corporate brands away or names, what
Sure.
kind of industries are going with you?
Oh, sure. So with Southeast Asia, we have advanced manufacturing. And bear in mind, when we think of these countries, a lot of people still think they're third world backwaters. No, these Southeast Asia in general, they're a high-tech powerhouse and centers of innovation. So the type of companies we're taking are advanced manufacturing, especially those related to Industry 4.0, clean tech, environmental is huge. IT, of course, software in particular, because with digitalization, everybody's going from the physical to the software-led production models. So, and healthcare as well. So those are the primary industries that are going with us next month to Southeast Asia.
Well, listen, good luck with it, and thanks for putting it on. Noel
Oh
Nevshehir,
yeah.
who's the Director of International Business Services and Global Strategic Partnerships at Automation Alley. Always good to spend time with you.
Yeah, likewise, Chris. You have a great spring and summer. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
You as well, Noel. You're
All right.
watching
Thank
the
you.
Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. We'll be back with more.